So I'm just gonna rant in this video, um, and yeah, it's gonna be a ranting video, um, where I will express my feelings about certain things, my emotions about certain things. Yeah, I'm just giving you a warning if you don't want to hear this or something, right? It's not gonna be some video that is meant to be sort of educational necessarily. I mean, maybe a little bit, whatever, but it's mostly me venting and being hateful, um, because that is needed for me personally. That is needed, okay? And I'm just disgusted at the state of the world, and I'm just disgusted at humanity in general. Actually, I'm actually becoming more and more misanthropic, to be honest. I don't want to be misanthropic, but it's dragging me into being a misanthrope. Okay, it's I think humanity is a dysfunctional species, um, a very dysfunctional species, and I think that humanity actually, if it doesn't evolve, if it doesn't gain some understanding and consciousness and some kind of improvement in many areas, especially in the moral department, right? In a moral consistency department, I think that humanity deserves what it gets, really. You know, seriously, like these climate change disasters. Like, the thing is, like, climate change, wars, and all these catastrophes that threaten humanity, they're based on misandry and human stupidity and just resource hoarding and um, status chasing to benefit women. That is what it is. That is like the root of all evil, basically. Um, and if humans don't see that, if they continue to engage in that behavior, then they get what they deserve. I'm sorry. It is what it is, right? And I'm not even sad about that then, right? Because we live in a world where like humanity is a savage species, right? It's not it's still in a monkey state, essentially. Probably worse, probably worse. Like, monkeys are not circumcising their baby boys. Like, they don't abort unborn children. They don't kill them, right? Like that, en masse in the millions, right? They don't enslave, like, I mean, with child support. So anyway, I had to take down one of my videos, the one on Abba and Preach, because I was repeatedly getting comments on that video from people that were saying stuff to me. Let's just say that they wouldn't say that in real life to me, because there would be consequences. There would be severe consequences if they did that, if they said these things in real life that they said in a comment section. And I was just getting tired of dealing with these people, right? So yeah, there's something wrong with humanity, especially when it comes to Americans. And I have to be blunt here. I think America and the Anglosphere in general represents the worst of humanity, actually. Like, you have a country that basically starts most of the wars. It's the most aggressive country in the world, right? It has military bases everywhere. It dominates all of humanity economically, right? Sanctions countries into starvation, right? And then they want to make like moral claims, and judge countries morally, right? And like also domestically, 70% circumcision rate in America, right? America is a resource hoarding, polluting, circumcising pro-cutter shithole. And they want to point fingers and like wave their hypocritical, pseudo-religious morality, right? At other people, right? Like, this is just lizard brainery on steroids, okay? And again, look at this, right? The term pedo is commonly used as a slang term in the Anglosphere, right? This is the type of shit where I'm like, okay, the average person is very bad and immoral, actually. Okay? If you use the term pedo just like that, as a slang, or like some kind of as some kind of thing that can just be mindlessly spammed, right? Because the thing is, it loses all meaning then, right? Like, when you water down terms, then actual sexual child abuse, sexual child abuse cases actually they get swept under the rug, or that there's like it actually harms children when you actually mindlessly spam the pedo smear, right? So these fucking lizard brain people, they say Leonardo DiCaprio, when he dates 18, 19, 20-year-old women, that he's a pedophile. This, and again, this is like, it seems to be public opinion. It seems to be like normalized to say that, right? I mean, look at the Abba and Preach video, the comment section. Most of them agree with Abba and Preach, with their bullshit. This is like, there are people who are getting married when they're 18 and 19 and 20. Like, what the fuck are you smoking? Seriously, what the fuck? Like, when you look at the definition of pedophilia, it means attraction to prepubescent children. That is the definition of pedophilia. 18 and 19 and 20-year-old adults don't fit that definition. But who cares about being accurate and caring about like caring about legal definitions or psychological definitions, right? Who gives a shit, right? Who cares about definitions? Who cares about facts? Who cares about reality? We can just mindlessly made up things because it's cool, right? Because it's hip, because everyone does it. You see, like, humanity is becoming like bots, right? Like these AI bots that just mindlessly spam bullshit. Like on an algorithmic basis, just connecting this and that concept in a non sequitur manner, right? It's like that internet theory. I think there's probably some truth to that. Like probably 99% of people on the internet are just bots, right? Or at least they behave that way because they're like so stupefied. They're so there's the brain rot, the lizard brainery, the retardation. It's severe. It's immense. And someone actually has to make a study on how misandry is correlated with lower intelligence, because I think that this is probably correlated. Like the more misandric you are, the dumber you are probably. The more lizard brain, the more like instinct based person you are, instead of like logic, reasoning, seeking out empirical evidence, critical thinking. Those are faculties that are not widely spread within the general public. Okay? And people say that false accusations of pedophilia, that this is rare. Meanwhile, look at this case. Wayne Lineker is falsely accused of being a pedo by 12,000 strong crowd. Right? So one man falsely accused by 12,000 people. That is like that shows you that it's common. It's common. It's mindlessly spammed. It's within the public repertoire to use this word, right? It's like saying, it's as normalized as saying the word hello or something. That is again, this is the type of thing where I'm like, okay, humanity deserves the apocalypse. Seriously. Because there's no justice. There's no it's just like these monkeys, right? These apes. The inner ape comes out in these people without thinking. No thinking. Like, and it's worse than stupidity. It's hatefulness, right? But in a stupid way. It's stupidity combined with spite. It's just the worst subhuman behavior. That pedosmearing is widely spread and normalized and pretty much mainstream. It's pretty much mainstream. I mean, look at Donald Trump. Like, these fuckers are treating him like some kind of messiah, right? He's gonna change the world. He's gonna make everything better. Fuck no. Look at who he has on his cabinet or within his government, like who he brings in. Elon fucking Musk. And what does Elon Musk do? Or what did he do? He pedo smeared like this guy in Thailand who rescued children from this underground cave, right? Elon Musk actually pedo smeared a hero, falsely accused him of being a pedophile, right? And Trump gets him on his team, basically. Like, what? And you worship this guy? You think he's like this amazing guy? If Trump actually was this amazing guy, he would never even think about bringing Elon Musk on, right? He would be like, hey, you're a false accuser of you falsely accused an actual hero of pedophilia. No, you're not getting on my team. You're a piece of shit. right? But obviously, moral consistency doesn't matter in our society. Morals don't matter in our society, right? But morality is only used to crack down on men, to punish men. But when it comes to actual justice, then morality is out the window very quickly. Two women who tortured and kicked their quiet and shy neighbor, 60 years old, to death after falsely accusing him of being a pedophile. So, yeah, this is what happens when people are, when men in particular are falsely accused of pedophilia. This is why this is so disgusting. It ruins lives, and it's normalized. It's pretty much, public sport, apparently. It's not rare. And it doesn't even help children. It actually damages children, because when you falsely cry wolf, right, then actual cases of sexual abuse against children are gonna be swept under the rug, right? It's not helping anybody. It's just spiteful, evil behavior. Grandpa falsely accused at park while waiting for grandkids. Again, like, imagine if you're a granddad and you're just sitting there waiting for your grandkids, and then like some anonymous bitch on the internet in a Facebook group spreads lies about you. This can happen to every man. And it's always like with this anonymity, on the internet. Like, again, I cannot even express the hatred I have, Ryan. Again, if there's a hell, it's going to be filled with a lot of people, man. It's going to be filled with a lot of people, and these pedo smearers, they would never ever say a peep about circumcision, right? These fuckers are silent about actual pedophilia, and circumcision is pedophilic violence against baby boys. It's sexual violence, right? It's worse than rape, and it's legal everywhere. Again, most of these like tradcon nutjob pedo smearers, they're like from the Anglosphere, and like especially the United States. And the United States has a circumcision rate of 60 to 70%. So it's widespread. Do these pedo smearers say anything about circumcision? No, of course not. Of course not. If they're parents, they probably have their son cut. So it's, again, like, the word hypocrisy is not even appropriate at this point anymore. It's something else, right? My vocabulary is not sufficient to express what this actually is, right? And yeah, it's disgusting. And these people always say, look, it's so amazing, circumcision is so good for like all sorts of supposed benefits, like preventing penile cancer and bullshit. Like, Meanwhile, you're actually more likely to die from circumcision than from penile cancer. Look at this, right? I mean, the risk of dying from circumcision is magnitudes higher than from penile cancer. Penile cancer is very rare, by the way. And it's also like, it doesn't even make any sense. So if circumcision removes the foreskin, how does this prevent penile cancer? Doesn't even make any sense. Right from the outset. It's like also with the STDs, like how does this prevent STDs? Removing the foreskin? If anything, it makes things worse because the foreskin has natural secretion that actually prevents bacterial infection and stuff like that. Like this basic anatomy, right? And they say that, like, a lot of people probably believe that circumcision is preventing HIV and stuff like that. This is like a common spread belief that has been spread also falsely by the World Health Organization and organizations like the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And speaking of them, by the way, this guy Richard Reeves, right, who is supposedly this hero, right, that supposedly spreads awareness about male issues, right? He's like widely spread, and he talks about men's issues and all of that. Like I have an exposed video on him coming, by the way. Another one. I already did one of my videos, an hour-long video on him and the bullshit he spreads. He spreads like stuff that is comparable to racial pseudoscience about boys, like, oh, they're doing worse in school because of their brain development. Like this is like some legitimate, like this could be like legitimately be compared to some race realist nonsense. Seriously, this is the type of shit they would say. So but he's supposed to be speaking up for men, yeah, with that bullshit. He never speaks about discrimination against boys within the education system and how female teachers downmark them for the same work, right? He never says a peep about that, but he says, yeah, boys are doing worse in school because of their brain development. Total bullshit. And he has an organization, he has some kind of institute, and I'm going to do a video on this. He has some kind of institute that gets funded by Melinda Gates. Melinda Gates, who was who is a feminist, basically, who is 100% a feminist. She funds feminist causes, right? She funded circumcision programs. She is like high up there with the top feminists out there, right? She funded like billions of dollars to feminist organizations, and now she funds this organization that Richard Reeves, like some kind of institute that where he's the boss of that. Like this is like to say that controlled opposition, it's understatement. It's an understatement of that, right? But yeah, like I said, I'm rambling in this video, but I don't care, right? I don't give a shit. And yet, when we look at humanity, the vast majority of humanity supports abortion. Okay? Globally, 3 in 5 citizens say abortion should be legal in all or most cases. And they surveyed like 27 countries. And obviously, it's going to be more feminist countries, right? So, again, like most people around the world, or the majority of people around the world support baby murder. Think about that, right? And again, like these people who mindlessly and falsely spam around the pedo word, they're most likely pro-choice. So again, like they're pro-baby murder, but they want to falsely accuse men, right? So, and yeah, this article is from 2022, and here's also some Pew Research, which is more recent. Support for legal abortion is widespread in many places, especially Europe. You can see the percentages here, right? It's like supported in the vast majority of places around the world that were surveyed here. My country, 84% says it should be legal. The survey participants said that. In all or most cases. So does that mean like even late term abortion? So yeah, majority of people are immoral. That's pretty much the conclusion that you have to get to, right? If you say that if you say that abortion should be legal, then you're a scumbag. And again, look at how many abortions worldwide this year. This is the real doomsday clock that you can see here, right? It's depressing to look at. But yeah, with like the majority of humanity supporting baby torture in the form of circumcision and baby murder in the form of abortion, what do you have to think about humanity then, right? And also the vast majority supporting feminism, the vast majority supporting misandry or are being misandric, right? That this is like, again, it turns you into misanthrope if you realize these things, if you have like a problem with these things, as you should if you are a human being, actually, and not some brain dead, heartless moron, which I guess most people are. And yeah, and again, like more than half of the world's population is not recognized as, or more than half of the male world's population is not even protected from rape. But do feminists like who scream rape culture, do they say anything about that? Actually, they want to keep this state of affairs, right? They want to keep that state of affairs, right? Because in India and in other countries, they protested gender neutral rape laws, right? They actually they want to preserve the status quo here, right? And then these feminist gaslighting cunts, they blame rape of men on patriarchy, and when male victims are not helped and stuff like that, then they say it's because of toxic masculinity and patriarchy, as you can see here, right? Let me read you this. It was a teacher and she slept with a 12-year-old boy. This is an actual case of pedophilia, by the way. 12-year-old, okay? But these pedo they want to say, like, two consensual adults, right? A 19-year-old woman dating, I don't know, a 30-year-old man. Both of them are adults, right? They want to say that this is like on par with that case here, right? Again, this is how lizard brain, how stupid, how ignorant, how hateful, how misandric these people are. Seriously, like, but yeah, let me read you this. It was a teacher who slept with a 12-year-old boy. He killed himself 3 years later, and nothing happened to her. And she wasn't even fired. She wasn't even fired. Would the same happen? Would the same happen to a man? No, of course not. He would be thrown in jail immediately. And as he should, of course, right? But she should be thrown in jail as well. And everything on the internet is an anecdote, useless, provide actual evidence, even what I just said. Now you have ever considered that a man simply don't report as often as women do. And then this feminist cunt here says, feminists are the ones critiquing the normalization of this stuff as an example of patriarchal culture and toxic masculinity. Bitch, feminists have actually protested, they have protested gender neutral rape laws, right? That's number one. Okay, feminists, when they are like researchers who research female predators, right? I forgot the name of the researcher, but I covered this in previous videos. Feminists have actually sent hate mails to that researcher who was spreading awareness about female predators, right? So get the fuck out of here with your, feminists are critiquing normalization of female predators, and like, fuck off with that gaslighting bullshit. Fuck off with that shit. And if everyone seriously believes this feminist gaslighting here, you're a moron. You're a piece of shit. It is self-proclaimed masculine men who say shit like lucky kid in the Facebook comments when something like this gets reported in the news. First of all, just because, like, this is a false binary fallacy, or the false dichotomy fallacy that feminists always do, right? And that this is not just what feminists always do. This is what most people do. This false binary, right? And I'm going on a tangent here, but I don't care. Whenever you critique one side, then everyone says like, oh, that means you support the other side or something, right? For example, when I critique Trump, then they accuse me of being a Biden supporter or some bullshit like that, which is not true. You can actually critique both of them. You can actually be against both of them, right? And when you critique feminism, this doesn't mean that you're a red pill Andrew Tate fanboy or some bullshit, right? Or the reverse. If you critique Andrew Tate and the manosphere, that doesn't mean you're a feminist. You can be against both of them. You fucking retards. And people don't understand this. And again, feminists, they're smart enough to understand this, so they set up this false binary. Just because there's some tradcon lizard brain man who says stuff like lucky kid in these Facebook comments, this doesn't mean that feminism is not also contributing to the normalization of female predators, you fucking prick. And there are probably also many women who say things like lucky kid. But they want to blame it all on men. This is why feminism is hateful, because they always leave out the female part, the female agency. They want to blame everything on men. This is a victim blaming narrative, right? They leave out the feminist contribution to the problem. Fucking cunts, okay? You're directing your anger against the wrong demographic. Fuck you. So, and again, the police, like, there's even academia, they're like academic journals, so-called journals, that are called feminist criminology, right? So the criminal justice system has feminist influence, has been influenced by feminism, right? Police has been trained by feminist principles, so it has something to do with feminism as well, right? So, yeah, you cannot get around this piece of shit. So, yeah, that's pretty much on that. The word patriarchy, toxic masculinity is just thought-terminating cliches. There's no objective truth to these terms. There's no scientific rationality to these terms. It's just waffling. It's just mindless, thought-terminating cliches and conspiracy nonsense. And that's pretty much that, right? And yeah. Also, this green dump here shows how normalized misandry is. I'm not gonna read all this, but I will link it. You can read this yourself, and then you recognize that my hatred towards humanity is justified. I mean, there are some good people out there, but like, I'm really getting the impression that the average person is either a scumbag or enabled scumbags. Right? Look at this. I miss the time when men would go to war and die. First of all, bitch, they're already doing that. Still, like, look at Ukraine, look at other wars around the world. Fucking cunt. But again, this is incitement of violence against men that she's doing here. Again, like, men are worse than second-class citizens. And I also tell you what. If misandry wasn't a thing, like, let's say we lived in this hypothetical world where men's lives would be as valued as women's lives, then I think that wars would be dramatically reduced. I think that, like, I'm not sure if they would like stop completely, but they would definitely be dramatically reduced, because we are not sending our daughters and our women to the battlefield, do we? Right? Because we want to protect them. But imagine if we did the same thing to our sons. We protect and value and cherish our men. I think that wars would grind to a halt. There would be barely any wars. Because we would say, look, we cannot sacrifice our sons like that. Right? We cannot treat them like cannon fodder. So again, it shows you that the male half of our species is not valued. It's seen as cannon fodder. It's we are completely dehumanized, right? And yeah, there's also example from Germany. So German politicians, especially those who are like pro-feminists, they are actually supporting traditional gender roles when it comes to the male-only draft, for example, and they want to male refugees from Ukraine. They want to send them to war over there, right? They say like Ukrainian men who fled to Germany because of war, they have to return to Ukraine and apply for papers, right? To get like replacement travel documents. So again, this is extreme scumbag behavior, and of course it's only applied to male refugees, of course, right? And again, this article documents how this is coming from politicians, from German politicians who have previously always like spread like men and women are they need to have quote unquote equal rights, which mean obviously they don't actually mean equal rights. They mean it in a feminist sense, right? They mean it like female supremacist sense. So yeah, total hypocrisy. And yeah, so men are treated like garbage. Yeah, and men are also treating other men like garbage. Like a lot of these male politicians cited here, right? They're male feminists, which also further debunks this patriarchy hurts men too fallacy, because these male feminists, like, it doesn't matter whether or not a politician is male or female, men are getting thrown under the bus regardless. So yeah. So yeah, I'm just disgusted and tired of humanity, and also like with this AI bullshit, cracking down on our channels, cracking down on Alex Kat's channel, cracking down on my channel, cracking down on every pro-male collective channel. It's and like the comments are disappearing constantly. I'm looking through the notification and I'm looking up the comments and it's disappeared. Like, and there are worse comments on YouTube than under our videos, right? Sometimes racist comments and transphobic comments, and they're like letting YouTube lets these comments stand. So they're not even hidden. So yeah, AI is like Mr. Pink and Yellow said that AI should be banned or it should be restricted or something, and I agree with that actually. But the thing is, AI is also just a tool. It's a product of humanity. If humanity is feminist biased, AI is going to be feminist biased, because AI is trained on the data that is put out there, right? It's trained on feminist ideology basically. So it's going to be feminist biased. So yeah, so that's pretty much on that. Yeah, but onto something also positive on that video. Like, again, I think the pro male collective, joining the pro male collective was one of the decisions, because the Pro-Mate Collective actually achieves justice and gets shit done, right? And yeah, recently this pro-cutter subreddit got banned. So Rick Fetish got banned off Reddit, right? And again, this is a success, right, for men's rights. So yeah, this is why the Pro-Mate Collective is better than pretty much all the other male spaces, because we get shit done, right? As bad as things are, but there's like we are like a small light in an ocean of darkness, basically. And also the next target is this one circumstrained. This is going to be our next target. So yeah, report circumstrained, of course, like we always do. We have to take measures, right? Like look at this, right? We have so much success. This is actual success, right? We're getting shit done. Our anger is getting shit done. The thing is, these milquetoast MRAs are the problem, right? In the mainstream MRM, they don't get shit done. Like, for example, I recently watched a video by some MRA, and I'm probably gonna do a video on him, probably. He commented on this Jubilee debate, MRAs versus feminists, and he sort of critiqued female supremacy. He said that women have more rights than men, which is true. But then he said, but actually I don't have a serious issue with that. I'm like, what the fuck? So you just described that baby boys are not protected from circumcision, right? And how females are privileged legally and socially within our society. But you say that you don't have any serious issue with that. He only said that he has a serious issue that it's not recognized or something. And then he later on, when I confronted him in the comments, he said like, oh yeah, it comes from this female privilege just comes from a place of protecting women, and therefore it's like from a place of benevolence or something. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, right? This is the problem with these milquetoast MRAs, so-called MRAs. They don't get shit done because they lack the anger, right? We have to have anger, and we have to channel our anger into stuff like this, right? That you can see on screen here. Our anger needs to be directed into teamwork, and we need to get shit done. Okay? That is what it is, right? And yeah, I also, again, subscribe to the Substack here and make your own Substack. Okay? I will link all these things. And also this K-Bin. This is like a Reddit alternative. So yeah, subscribe to that as well. The men's rights movement here, right? I will link it also in the description. Yeah, we're posting here like we do on Reddit, but it's better than Reddit, right? So yeah, we need more members here on K-Bin as well, to fight for men's rights. Okay, that's the fight that matters most. Okay, like all these problems that we see in humanity, which make me misanthropic and hateful, right? They stem from misandry, in my opinion, or like most of these problems, at least, or it's a huge component of that, right? I don't claim to know everything and whatever, but still, this is how I see it. Like if we, like I said, if we valued our men the same as our women, then the wars that we see, for example, they wouldn't be as much of them, right? Because we wouldn't sacrifice our men like that, like they're just use like they're some objects, right? And yeah, and like I said, like the pedo smearing has to stop. I'm just tired of it. I'm just tired of it. Yeah. So yeah, the pro Mac collective is on the rise, but yeah, like I said, I had to vent my anger. I really had to get this off my chest. I will probably not edit this video that much, but yeah. So thanks for watching. Like I said, I will link all these things, the relevant links, in the description. And yeah, fuck humanity.